So today is day 3 of Ask Father, and this question has been submitted by someone who is asking about how does God's plan interact with our own free will, especially with all the things that are going on now. So I figured I needed a good Southern fashion, a rocking chair and a cup of tea to kind of work on this one. I did it the first time, and it was over 10 minutes long, so I didn't want to bore you all to death. So let's see how we cut this down. There's no way I answer this. This idea taps into the problem of evil. How does an all-good God and all-powerful allow suffering and evil to happen in the world? Many greater minds than myself have attacked this over time, and there's no way that I will be able to do this for you in a couple minutes. But what I do want to tell you is a couple perspectives that take as you begin to ponder this question, and as I rock repeatedly while we do this. First thing, God is uncreated. He's this uncreated being outside of time, and then he creates. So there's this one thing that is finite. There are creatures. We are that creature. We are a creature and we are finite. He is infinite. We are finite. We use this term all the time, and all kinds of things. Like take an infinity pool. You have an infinity pool. It looks like it's without end. You always see it on the movies and things. One day maybe I'll be able to try it. Pretty neat. The Marvel Universe, Infinity Stones. It seems like there is power that can be wielded that has no end, power that has no limits. Used unless you're Thor with a big Stormbreaker axe hammer thing, then apparently you can overpower all 5. But anyway, I digress. But I mentioned limits. So God is the unlimited. He is being without end. Like there are no limits on his existence. We are limited. We have a limited perspective as we look around the world. He has unlimited talk and text. He has unlimited turbo. If you're an old school, there's a Rocket League now, but like old school's NBA Jam and NFL Blitz, unlimited turbo. Unlimited refills, my favorite. Unlimited returns to a bar, unlimited buffet. Those are what we're used to now. But he is the unlimited. He is the one without end. When it comes to philosophy and theology, we use those terms. We have limits. And so our perspective, in so many ways, is limited. So, created, us, the uncreated, outside of time, no limits. But when we begin to talk about limits, we do have to talk about perspective. So, for example, if I lean in close to here to you, what's right behind me? If I put a number behind my head right now, what number is it? You can't, because your perspective you can't tell. But what if we were to change the perspective? What if you were to be looking from above and my head was lower? You'd be able to tell what's being put behind my head. The perspective changes. St. Thomas Aquinas talks about this, and he says, think of a caravan that's walking along. You have this mountain and this caravan is walking along. If I'm in the caravan, I can only see what's in front and behind me. I can't see on the other side of these things. He says God's perspective, his realm of knowledge, is one as if he's looking from a mountain, and he's looking down from the mountain. He can see the entire caravan at once. Imagine that. It's a good image. So he can see all of time at once. Our perspective from the created, the limited, as opposed to his infinite, his unlimited perspective, is he looks down as the uncreated. These are different ways in which you can now begin to distinguish between knowing something and causing something. If he can look down on that caravan and know exactly what the actions of all the different people in the caravan are going to be, how are the people free? That's a question that is often asked and has been asked to us this week. And that's what the difference is between knowing and causing. So he knows what's going to happen. He knows us. He's seen it, and he knows what's going to happen. But he doesn't cause. Does that mean he directly causes it? No. There's a difference between someone who has been put into a situation, has made a series of choices, and then makes the choice. It's not God causing that person to go kill or steal or pillage or whatever it is. That person has begun to be taking his own choices. His own free will is being exercised. And now there will be consequences to that. That is part of the free will. In creating something out of love, you have to give the opportunity to love in return. You have to give the freedom of love. A forced love is no love at all. A forced love is no love at all. So if God is going to create, we have to trust that this environment, this state of affairs, this world, this creation, was the best way to create it and give us the opportunity to choose to love. Love God and love neighbor. Now, does that mean that God cannot insert himself into the world? It's the definition of a miracle. For us, yes, he can. And that's one of the great mysteries. How that he can see all time, but also insert himself into the plan that there is. Which brings me to another point. Plans. God's plan, yes, we are in a sense predestination. We are predestined. His creation made in his image and likeness is predestined to go back to him. Predestined to be with him forever in heaven. However, when he creates us and gives us this environment in which we can have free will to take as many sips of this as I want, he affords us this opportunity to come back to him in freedom and love. If we choose to not do that, then there are consequences to it. My favorite, Sirach. I put before you fire and water, life and death. Choose one, and it will be given to you. This isn't a force-fed thing. And so he has to create a world in which we have those options. Now, last point. When we are given the option of doing the good or not doing the good, that means there will be suffering in the world. Many kinds of suffering that we see in the world. But even in those kinds of areas and things, we have the opportunity, St. Paul says, to bring good from it. God will bring good from all things for those who love him. Because every harsh situation brings an opportunity for grace. Every person suffering in the hospital brings an opportunity for a medical officer or a priest or whoever to go and tend to them in that moment, to give of themselves. Every difficulty in your home brings the opportunity for love and grace for someone to take care of the needs of the person who is there. It's part of loving God and loving neighbor. So yes, this world is difficult, and it can be difficult, but there are always opportunities that come with it. So hopefully these are some of the perspectives that you can change, what is created and uncreated. Our perspective as we look on time. As we are in time, we cannot put our finitude onto God. And part of that is just a great mystery of seeing and understanding how it is that the created and the uncreated come together, the unlimited and the limited, that knowing and causing, how are those different? But some principles for you to think about as you ponder this question. Another great question was asked for tomorrow, so we look forward to seeing you here tomorrow at 5 o'clock.